Welcome back to Amy Stadium. Getting ready for a big second half. Both coaches have had their frustrating moments and also their moments when their teams have been on fire. Hawthorn kicked the first 4 goals of the game. The Adelaide Crows have kicked the last 4 goals of the game. Let's go down to David King, who's with Brenton Sanderson, the coach of the Adelaide Crows.
Last time we caught up with you coming through the middle of Amy Stadium here, you weren't too happy. You happy today?
That was a better quarter. You know, we didn't start well. It's a pretty even contest, though. You know, I know we've missed some goals and they're kicking them, but yeah, it looks like it's a pretty even game today.
What was your message at quarter time? Because the second quarter was just fantastic stuff. Your possession retention was brilliant.
Yeah, we just made some adjustments around our stoppages. So you saw those 2 goals they got from our forward 50 stoppages where Hill ran down the open side of the ground. So structurally we made some adjustments, but no, that was pretty much player driven. The way the intensity increased that quarter.
Main message for the second half?
Keep doing the basics really well.
You don't want to give me anything, do you?
No, I don't want to give you anything.
Thanks, mate.
And he gave us nothing, which was fantastic. David King, well done. Thank you, Brenton Sanderson, for the interview. Dermot, number 23, you're very well acquainted with that number, mate. You carried with distinction in 5-day and 5-night premierships. But let's have a look how Buddy is getting his possessions.
Well, we see them, moving up towards...
As if we're kicking
really
to the
everything,
right,
going as if we're going to the right of screen. Everything's pretty well on the outside of the square, so he's hugging the boundary lines and he's really just tracking the ball as it's coming towards him. Hawthorn haven't been able to find him in the corridor. I thought in the opening 10-12 minutes of the first quarter, he had Talia pretty panicky, and Talia clung on for 2 free kicks, trying to struggle to the front. But then I reckon Talia reassessed, played a metre or so in front of him to get to the dropping ball, and he's a tall man, Talia. I think Franklin thereafter tried to go further up the ground for chasing a few kicks.
As a star forward, in this position where he didn't kick a goal last week, he hasn't even hit the scoreboard in the first half. He'll be wanting to come out at the start of this third quarter and really influence this game, won't he? He'll push up and really try and kick a goal or do something to change this game, won't he?
He'll try and change the game, but he's not your typical full forward who, like some of the full forwards of yesteryear or the traditional full forwards, think goals, goals, goals. He doesn't just think that. He loves a goal, but I think he will try and win the game rather than just think goals.
Again, the crowd trying to play their part as the third quarter gets underway. Looks like this man's been inserted into the middle, Sean Burgoyne. Very quiet in the first half. Just 3 disposals for Burgoyne. This is a bit of a sloppy one. Free kick goes to Lewis. It was a free handball into Mitchell. Here is Burgoyne. Shakes off a couple. Tried to get it to Hill. He's going to have to do it himself. He got it moving to Gunston and then to Birchall's dangerous left foot. They look like they're full of vim and vigour, the Hawks, at the start of the term.
How classy Sean Burgoyne. He, at his best, is just beautiful to watch. Good move by Alistair Clarkson to get him in the midfield. Leg speed, classy user of the ball. Great decision, Alistair. I think we'll have a big third quarter.
Averaging 23 disposals, career best this year, so he has been brilliant up till now.
He's got one of the great shrugs of football.
He's big.
Yeah, when people get a tackle on him, he's got a shrug while he's still in motion. Chris Judd's got a great shrug on him as well. He's actually running and he can turn his hips sideways through the tackle.
David Hale had a good shrug on him earlier in the year, didn't he?
Brent Guerra's got one as well. As the ball goes up to the forward line.
That's a concern, isn't it? We're both thinking the same thing.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to throw it in the forward pocket. There's the big number 23. You know he'll do something. It's only a matter of when.
You've given it David Hale with the hand damage and now the shrug.
Hill, it comes out to Hodge, and the second shot of goal for the Hawks at the full. So the Hawks have got it deep in their forward line. That's the upside, and they've had 2 misses. So McKay, back pocket for the Crows.
Now Lake's going to try and read this one off the boot.
Just slid in the back. Went twice off the ground. Umpire said the second one wasn't right.
Kicking in danger, was it?
Yep. Goes against Douglas.
Great
Mitchell's kick is a ripper. Hill's away. Nice little chip kick forward. No one on the end of it. Maybe should have just gone for home. Osborne holds it, and then just gets a toe poke on it. Talia picks up. Rutten gets the ball working. Smith takes it out.
Lynch.
It hurt him, didn't it?
Yep, just took him off balance to ground. He's up now, he's all right.
So Sloane kicks long up the line and says, run onto it, boys, go. Gibson, though, left his man, judged it nicely. Guerra, with that shrug, gets the handball going.
And gets it again back to Gibson.
To the open side. Okay, this is what Adelaide couldn't do first quarter, did well second quarter.
Waite's kick no good either. Nate Shields had to work for it, and even working harder was Douglas. It fell back for Shields like he meant it. He bangs it up inside the 50 and thumped away. Good diligent defence from the Crows. Piopolo, here's Burgoyne, surging forward, shrugging to the left and the right, getting it off. He's on his wrong side. Bruce gets back beautifully. Gunston puts it through. Great team play from the Hawks.
That was an amazing handball by Piopolo there to keep the ball on the body. Hopefully we see this here. Good put punch by Smith. Here it is. That's not an easy give onto the chest of Burgoyne. Some classy football just to keep the ball on the body. Brewster's just a super player in tight, and we know how good Gunston is in the forward 50. And in the second quarter, Hawthorn weren't very efficient with the ball, but some real classy players there getting involved and getting the goal. Well done, Hawthorn.
So the Hawks get the first goal of the third quarter. The Crows crowd really lifting. That's ended a run of 4 in a row for the Crows. Hawthorn's last goal coming at the 1 minute mark of the second term. 3 minutes in, they get their next one in the third term. Centre break all important here, and Hale does it. Gets the ball out. Fought hard for it. Off the ground, Dangerfield. Beautiful play. Tatalia off one step. Bombs it up towards the forward flank position. Mitchell was there, punched away. Good play. Now, Big Jacobs lopes after the ball, picks it up. Little chip kick is not bad, and they'll get a throw in. Good stop play, and that's a win for the Adelaide Crows.
I reckon Alistair Clarkson might have given Hawthorn a bit of a rocket at half-time. They got beaten in the second half badly. The second quarter with contested possessions. They're already up 10-3 in this third quarter.
They lead by 8 on the scoreboard. And they're under pressure again. Shields gave us a metre or two. Piopolo a fumble. And it's over and out.
I'd like to see the Crows kick the ball to space more in their forward line, just to allow some pressure to build on the defenders. They seem happy to kick a high ball to a genuine one-on-one. Just try something a bit different.
Well, they've got the height down there at the moment with both Jenkins and McKernan in the two key posts. Sloan, Thompson.
Oh, well read, Lodgy.
He did, just charging forward for the Hawks. Can they use their extra number or two? Lewis pops it up for Franklin to run to. Working the angles well, Talia. Franklin still not out of it. Hodge, and they've managed to contain the damage, but it's coming again. Isaac Smith, and this time on the end of it is Sean Burgoyne.
You mentioned before, Roo, he's a big man. He's a true midfielder. He's listed at 188 centimetres, 89 kilos. Now, if you turned up, that's 6'2" and 14 stone. If you turned up at a club 20 years ago, 6'2" and 14 stone, they'd say, which do you play, key position, forward or back? He's a big fellow who can really work, really run. Good kick of the footy.
In his 12th season, he comes in smooth play. Lovely looking kick. It's going to barely make it though. And Sloan conceded the behind.
Drop short from the set shots from this flank.
Not travelling the ball in the air today, is it?
Not to that end.
We blame the footy, shall we? Or is it just the players?
Pump that thing up.
Something's going on because they're not kicking the air as they usually do.
So great vision again from goal umpire Cam there. As Otten finds a bit of space, kicks it long. It's a beautiful kick too. Beautiful kick, and mark had to be taken. It was from Jenkins running with the ball.
Dangerfield's going to be one-on-one in the forward 50 here, and that is trouble for Hawthorn if he's got too much space.
Looks like Shields has gone to him, who was Hawthorn's #1 stopper last year. He's going to have his hands full with a power athlete like Dangerfield.
Douglas underneath it. Now Dangerfield has a second crack. Breaks 2 tackles, falls over, gets up, gives it over. Umpire says out of bounds.
Thing with Dangerfield is everything is a max effort. You watch the way he goes at it. Like, this is real urgency. Everything is a max.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
He's been stiffed there.
Absolutely. So a free kick to Hawthorn, and Crows fans quite rightly should be bleeding on that one because it wasn't out of bounds. Mitchell brings the ball through, and the Hawks are on the run through the middle of the ground.
Osborne brought it back into Mitchell. They're beyond the centre now. Stratton a little uncertain. Puts it out in front of Isaac Smith. Covers the ground well. Digs in deep. Missed an important one last last week, doesn't this time. Closes it out.
Crows fans go nuts.
And they've got justification for going nuts. I couldn't see the free kick in that myself. I mean, Hawthorn played it well thereafter, but they were pretty fortunate to get away with that one. And
that was a clever kick, that one, Derm.
well, you've got the gut run from Isaac Smith. He just ran away from his opponents then, and it was. They put him into space, but they could count themselves as a little unlucky there, the Adelaide Crows.
So we're back here. Dangerfield, did the ball go completely off over the line?
I don't think it went completely to the outside. It's the outside of the line, and the entirety of the ball has to go past the outside of the chalk
So
line.
suddenly the Hawks are 15 points up. The Crows need to get the next one to stay in touch.
To action.
Too much touch, said the umpire against Paul Pleasure.
Oh, he got knocked out there. Don't give it 50.
You're very fortunate. Hey, right, that's good umpiring.
Yeah,
Don't
it
go
is.
over. I mean, it wasn't worth a 50. It was worth a caution, though.
Yep, spot on.
Well done, Ray. Chamber.
Ray, don't call him Razor.
It's good umpiring if they do it all the time, Derm.
Yep. Well, let's give them a rap when they do it. Well done, umpies.
We can get stuck into him next week.
Hill's kick was a good one to Stratton.
But as it
Hawks
plays,
fans pretty comfortable with their position there, Ed, by the look of it.
Yeah. Getting an armchair right. And Big Rutten, the truck, stands firm in his 200th game and takes the mark on centre wing.
He'll be growling at Gunston, big truck, after he left him a couple of years ago.
So Rutten's kick.
he worked harder there, Stratton.
Yeah.
Just had a little bit of edge in pace to get past Sloane to be first of the ball. Sloane grabs on. They just need to suck in a bit of a breather here, the Hawks.
Take a bit of the tempo out of the game as the mark is taken by Shields.
And then explode when it suits them from blokes like Smith.
And look at that for a beautiful kick. Just magnificent. Out it came to Guerra. Another left footer looks inside. And that kick is just as good. Hill just had a bit of a look at it and then got cleaned up on the ground.
He did
It's
well,
gonna
the
come
kid,
off.
though.
Yeah, he just had a second attempt.
You go again
Kick out
here.
from Lewis.
They're doing it on their own terms at the moment, Hawthorn, aren't they?
Hodge kicks it out in the full for the second time.
He's trying to kick that to his mum in the forward pocket. He's had 2 cracks at it. Pop this in your bag.
The old Hawthorn cheer squad is down that end, Derm.
Yeah, the kid Hill, he probably thought, I'm 174 centimetres, I'm 65 kilos, I ain't getting killed for this ball.
It's not his position to get killed.
Nah.
No,
It's a waste of time for him getting smashed like that.
there are certain times in a match when you desire everyone on your team to go for the footy. It's normally time on when the game's on the line is when you ask a kid like that to go for it. Now is not the time. You need more run out of it.
Brown goes searching for Sloane, but Stratton was onto it in the air.
Well done, Stratton.
And he's been a good contributor this afternoon into the early evening here in Adelaide. Beautiful night. What are you feeling downstairs, Kingy, as we just watch Lake charging? He's advancing and still searching for Franklin. He couldn't get there. Otten, a nuisance value. As far as the Hawks were concerned, Bruce, Talia, escorts and it got away from him. Whoa. Try now, Kingy.
Well, just having a look at the game down here at ground level, the contested footy's where it's being won. There's no doubt the Crows have lifted their intensity, but the Hawks have been tougher across the course of the day, barring that 20 minutes of the second term there. But clearances well in favour of the Hawthorn Football Club, and that's been a problem for the Crows all year.
Just Talia left it to the right moment. Lyon's kick was a beauty. Tamlin gets it over the top. Dangerous play. It's going to ricochet back. McKernan holds him up. Good play, Tambling.
Great
Gets
stuff,
caught.
Ruffhead.
Ruffhead just wrapped him up. Yench is in there. Fighting hard as McKay. And he's on the bottom of the pack. The umpire's having a good look. He wants to give this. No. Good decision, umpire. Ball up.
Did well in the middle there, Ruffhead. Crows looked like they were going to get through, but he just positioned his body in the right place at the right time, the big fella.
Guerra acting as the sweeper if it comes out the back for Hawthorn.
So McKernan in the ruck at the moment. Mitchell, look at that hard play. Hodge, good tackle from Sloane. Important centre break here. Sloane got it out. Lucky bounce required. Guerra fended off his opponent, did it beautifully. Sewell to Guerra, who kept running. Now can look up and thump it long and strong, and he does. Up towards Buddy, lurking behind, punched away. Now the charge is on. Osborne off the ground, but he missed it.
It's a stooge.
Did an airy.
And as a result, the Crows able to bring it away.
Great kick.
Smith around the corner. They're advancing through Lynch. Quickly to half forward. He just eased him under it, didn't he? Beautiful play, Dangerfield. Kicks quickly, tried to put the Hawks defence under even more pressure, and then maybe rushed it himself. And Shields, like an old-fashioned defender, takes it out.
Well, Dermy, you called it before. Everything about Dangerfield is 100%, and that kick there was 100%, and he slightly muffed it. And have a look at this kick here. Look at him go. He takes off, and then he smacks it onto the boot and kicks a mongrel.
Well, the Crows need to find one, don't they, at this stage? And they're working hard. Vince has drawn it. He's drawn a free.
Well, Guerra gave one away like that last week. The front-on tackle with a bloke on his hands and knees. Gave away 3 free kicks in the second half. Last week, Brent Guerra, wonderful play. We saw his upside 30 seconds ago. Just too keen to actually be in full body contact there.
What was that free for?
Well, was it? You know what? It's one of those ones.
I think they got a lucky one. I think they got one back there.
It is lucky, but it's the way it's adjudicated. It's consistency.
Careful kick from Bernie Vince, and it's got there through the middle. Back to 10.
It just goes where if somebody's on their hands and knees, whatever they're doing with the ball, you cannot attempt to tackle them from in front of their head. Right?
Where's the free though? Which one is it?
No, not yet. Now. Okay.
Well, that's
chest to the head when he comes in.
Well,
He puts his head down, doesn't he, really?
I reckon they got one lucky one.
But he's down there already.
Yeah, but Guerra did as much as you possibly can as far as duty of care, and that's what you're required to do.
You get no argument here. It's
how they pay it, though.
It's the way the game's judged. Smart players will play to the way the umpires are umpiring on any given day. And that's the way they've been going throughout this whole year. Any slight contact to any bloke over the ball with your chest is going to be a free kick to the bloke over the footy.
Burgoyne again out of the centre. Tambling went up, punched it away. Hodge at the fall of the ball. Sewell balking, twisting, turning, gets the ball out. Here's Buddy's first big go at the goals.
Didn't come back.
1 point.
Well, at least he's on the scoreboard, but I tell you what, Sean Burgoyne is having a big influence on this game. He's had 7 disposals, 3 contested possessions and 2 clearances 15 minutes or halfway through the third quarter.
They're on the Crows as Vince marks the kick in. The next kick's so important. And it's Guerra just muscling his way onto it for the Hawks.
So that's
and here he is again, Burgoyne. A second grab at it, so that just held up the progress for the moment. He's going to launch into this kick deep, put the pressure on target. Franklin was twisting around, trying to get onto the back of it. That's high contact on Rutten. And so again, they're able to work it around. The big Ruckman Jacobs able to give and get it back again.
The golden rule, don't handball to a Ruckman twice.
He did it twice, Smith.
Sometimes you have to, unfortunately. That was probably one of the rare times.
Oh, he's going to get it again. Oh, he's going to. I thought he was a ruck rover for a second.
To McKernan instead. Now McKay, another big bloke. Jenkins could be on the end of it. He got a bit disorientated there. And he just struck out in hope. And all he did was strike.
Shocking kick by David McKay. He had his defender cold there, Jenkins, and just put it to the wrong spot.
By the way, Buddy hasn't been goalless in consecutive games since his first season.
Well, it's got plenty of time, the big Butster, and the stage is just being set for somebody to explode and win this game. Rutten has been fantastic. The truck just ran over everyone on that occasion. McKernan has to fly here, needs to mark this, got to the front spot, did well enough. Lewis, beautiful tap down to Smith, high up and under. In they come at 100 miles an hour. Gunston couldn't quite hold it properly.
Between the legs.
Yeah, Osborne, a nice little nutmeg there. The kick comes in from Shields to the forward pocket, and Talia's got Buddy covered, and the boundary line beats them both for a throw-in.
And they've absorbed some punishment here, the defensive 50 unit for the Adelaide Crows. 13 inside 50s for the quarter, just conceding the 2 goals.
So here we go, the throw-in in the forward pocket. Danger spot, right in the hot spot. Out comes Buddy. Did he get one high? No.
Looked like it, didn't it?
Umpire said play on.
He did get one high.
Yeah, he's holding his mush there, Buddy.
That's the abnormality of the adjudication.
Well, that was
abnormality of the adjudication, Huddy. You correct me
Let's
there.
watch.
Yeah, you couldn't really see from that side, but
I think
Flash of heads, I think.
Again, enough duty of care. That's right. There's always going to be body contact and incidental contact. The kick from Smith goes up in the air. Free kick, the Crows, or mark, whichever way you like. I think it's the free kick.
Now, this from here is where Adelaide has improved, and that is their, well, they're static now, but they were spreading much better from this kick. He's going to go the safe one, hopefully the safe one down the line. He finds Big Sauce.
He does. Thompson gets it off to Rutten. Rutten goes up towards the wing position.
Some one-on-ones there. They all converge on the footy. Good effort from Jenkins. And now McKernan. He can kick it deep. Oh, he thinks he can go on his own. He eventually gives to Lynch. One more handball. Are they into the clear? Not really. Kerridge gave it straight up and gave it to Birchall. Now they can run the angles. Smith's had a good quarter for Hawthorn. Brings Mitchell into the game. And now Hill, they're covering the territory beautifully. To half-forward Dangerfield. Back on the job against Shields. Hawthorn surging, but the Crows being able to withstand plenty in this term. Brown, though, they've rolled the dice again. Hurry kick Gunston. It's a quick one. And the crowd won't like that. The former Crow puts it through for his second.
Well, McKernan needed to take the shot.
Two-goal turnaround, Derm.
Yeah, once here. Was it McKernan? McKernan gives it over here. I just felt there was a shot waiting in there to be taken.
No one was quite sure who it was going to be.
I think good defence by Hawthorn there. They just played it perfectly and they caused the turnover, and once they got it, the classy players of Hawthorn in their forward line really do, most of the time, make you pay, don't they?
So 17 points. Gunston gets his second of the term. Big turnover, big punishment.
I tell you what, Kingy, I'm almost thinking at some stage in this quarter, take off one of the top-heavy key position players for Adelaide, roll in right, and you've got a running team, a running midfield. I don't know if Hawthorn will be able to cope with that.
I think it's time for a midfielder at full forward. They need someone zippy down there, the Crows, just drive it into space and allow the little man to do the work. We've seen Watson, we've seen Cotchin, and these players go to full forward with success. It's now time for the Crows to put Dangerfield down there.
Osborne got a little kick in the ankle there, throw in.
You're saying, Derm, sub out one of the ruckmen?
I'm saying sub out one of Jenkins, McKernan,
would be the one.
Probably, or even Lynch, and get another midfielder in right who's sitting on the bench to give them more run needed from this type of situation.
Well, Jacobs' hit to advantage was one of the best we've seen for a long time. That was a beauty. Porcluse's kick was a ripper, and Yench has got it.
I'd use it tactically rather than an injury substitute.
Here we go, Dermot, up towards McKernan, got his hand on the ball. Where it did well, he had his arm pinned. He had to just pull it free, otherwise he was in all sorts of trouble. Hodge half volley. Handball over the top from Birchall. Good composure from the Hawks. They get it out. Up towards Franklin from behind. It's knocked away. Goes again, but he sticks his foot in. Trying hard. The ball's not coming his way, but he's having a real go. He got one in the head before, and I think he dislocated a finger there, Dern, or certainly gave it a big wrench, and the Hawks get the free kick.
What he's got to do now is just, you see him in the bottom of the screen, he's just got to belt forward. Just got to run his opponent into the ground now.
So Bruce decides to do a bit of fancy work off halfback, maybe not the time or place. Stratton to half forward. Jacobs and Hale combat each other. Hits the ground. Smith of the Crows. Back it goes McKay. They're hanging on desperately here, this Crows defence. They've got to somehow turn that into attack. Sloan, Burgoyne just clambering a little high.
Oh, he's gone for the handball.
He did. He got away with it because he had the back to the umpire. But this game's gone up a notch. The pressure is really on at the moment.
And King, there's going to be some tired boys in the last quarter, I reckon.
Oh, absolutely there will. But who can handle the pressure? Who can keep the ball on the body? Who can use the ball the most effective will win this game?
Here's Lake. Back to the wing it goes from all angles. Norton. Over the top. It's great to see him back almost at his best.
He is at his best. He's back for the first time since his knee reconstruction a few years ago now. He's got his confidence back, Andy, which is great to see.
Margin 17 points at Amy Stadium. Jacobs had to put a fist in. Duray, quick with movement by hand, the Hawks. Hodge, he got through the traffic. Mitchell on the outside, he kicks, taking no chances, unfortunately. For the Hawks, it's all Adelaide back there, and the 200 gamer takes the mark.
It's just going back and forwards at the moment, isn't it, boys?
Just under 4 minutes to go.
They've subbed, boys. The Adelaide Crows are brought right into the game for some run and taking lines off.
Okay, off hands, here we go. Jacobs, big thumping kick into the forward line. Need a mark here, need to get a free kick. Didn't get either. Good play by the Hawthorn defence.
Yep, a good call, Eddie, because that would have been very easy to give a free kick away, and they did it as well as they possibly could. They were totally out of position here, Hawthorn, and you could argue they took his hand, but I think it was well umpired.
Yeah, I think Lynch turned in the marking contest. He probably needed to go front on to get the draw the free kick.
That was your man, Derm. That was the sub that just got the ball there, Matty Wright. Nearly got a goal for you.
I reckon you've got to play him as a high forward now. Start him in the forward line, get him up to the half-back line and utilise his ability now as fresh legs to run through and pass the contest.
He's good in stoppages, Matty Wright. He's an in and under player. They do definitely need to get win some more clearances in this quarter. They've come back. They were getting thrashed early. Now it's 7-6.
But for a good sub, it's like coming into a boxing match in round 8 and you're the first man.
Douglas just escaped and delivered it onto the chest of Jacobs. They're coming again, the Crows, and the coach of the Hawks doesn't like it.
They need to get a goal here to have a chance, don't they, Roo?
He looked like he wanted to punch the wall or something there, didn't he?
He's been there, done that though, Roo.
Well, Sauce Jacobs here hasn't had the best season, but I tell you what, a fantastic player, fantastic bloke, and he needs to kick a goal here for his team.
So the good bloke factor here might get him a goal, you reckon, Roo?
Well, he's just got a big heart.
He comes in from 35. Was a little wobbly, a little shaky, but they're all worth 6. And the Crows are back within 11.
Well, it's game on, isn't it? This is a fantastic game of footy, and we're hoping at the start of the day that Adelaide might be able to fire up for big Texie Walker. And there's Douglas just getting off the chain. Probably got to get a free kick in the ruck anywhere there, Adelaide, but Jacobs, as Eddie said before the game, might play a bit more up forward. And when the ruckmen go forward, they need to actually play good footy and kick goals, and that's what he did there, the big fella. Well done.
So the margin is 11 points, and what a big 2.5 minutes to go in this quarter here, Durham.
Well, you're going to have to look at the centre-bounce. Hawthorn have actually done better from the centre-bounce clearances. Adelaide need to get one going their way to give themselves a chance and lock it in.
Oh, look at him go, Dangerfield, charging out of the middle, trying to generate more for the Crows. Lynch takes it a long way from home, quickly tries to assess. Jenkins is long. Will he get to this contest? No.
Watch that. Gibson stood off in front, 10 metres in front of Jenkins. Jenkins needs to realise that Gibson's one of the best intercept marks in the competition. Got to make him accountable.
David King, the Hawks are swinging the changes too.
They have. They've brought Simpkin onto the field. Osborne substituted out. They're looking to just hang on here, I think, late in the third.
He was labouring a bit, I think, with it. He was a bit sore, Osborne. The kick goes up to the wing. Franklin there and amongst 2 Crows. It's a good point, Kieran. I mean, they lead by 11 and they've outscored them for the quarter, but you feel like they're on the back foot a bit.
I don't think the AFL really realised when they brought the sub in that it was going to be such an exciting tactical move.
No, it's a big part of the game, isn't it? And maybe will become more so.
They might not have known about it, but they'll claim it, Roo, don't worry.
Yes.
Here's Roughhead. I tell you what, that is 1 minute and 45. Big 2 minutes ago, Poplow dragged off the ball. Tambling turned it up. And here we go, Isaac Smith with that loping left foot kick, but this time it's cut off. Otten has been fantastic. He was great last week and got 50 metres there too.
Oh, Razor. Oh, Chamber.
The old 50 metre. This is going to take him right in the centre of the ground. They need to try and find a target here.
Come on, boys, just let the players play. So Otten did well there. What's the 54? It's Buddy, actually. I reckon that one, I sat behind Gil McLaughlin at the footy last night and I gave it to him all night about that free kick, that 50 metre. It's that encroachment one.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous.
Get it out, get rid of it. Inside 50 we go. If they interfere, fair enough, but if they don't, no free kick. Gibson has been sensational.
Gibson's a game in front of Eddie.
Yeah. Gibson, Stratton and Birchall have all done some really important plays in this quarter, Roo, for the Hawks defence, haven't they?
Absolutely. The defences of both sides have actually been pretty good in this third quarter.
He didn't have to push red for Ed last night, mate. Gibson, with less than a minute to go.
He's going to be bottled up here on the left foot.
This is vital. If they can get a turnover here, the Crows, they'll get the momentum. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Douglas has been fantastic. Breaks the tackle. Tight in on the boundary line. Lines it up. He's going to have to kick it because there's no one to go. Keep running. He runs in and kicks a goal. Douglas goes berserk. AB Stadium stands up with 32 seconds to go.
reckon we're about 15 seconds too late to get the real reaction from Alistair Clarkson. He knows his team gave one up there. As soon as Gibson was called for too long and he was too close to the man on the mark, he was never going to get onto his left foot properly, and Douglas knew that.
Well, he's having a good year, Doug. He's one of the few Adelaide Crows that have probably actually had a better year than last year. And I tell you, when you defend and you start chipping it around, it's very dangerous for the exact reason what happened there. If you don't put the ball on the body, the turnover is very costly.
And it makes the final 30 seconds of this quarter even more important. Roughhead, Hawthorn trying to thrust it forward. Lewis comes hard at Rutten, charging through. Here's the response. Franklin, a handball, back to Burgoyne, wobbly into the 50. Bruce with Smith shadowing. Bruce got himself clear. The ball came out. That's Simpkin on for his first game for the Hawks. She's up, she's under. Is that 15? Well, apparently it is now. As Dangerfield takes the mark. And the peril has passed for the Crows late in the third quarter. 5 points in it. Press nothing for Ed late in this quarter. And we're looking forward to the last term.
We're looking at Adelaide 2012 revisited now. Since quarter time, they've come out looking to hunt down the Hawks.
Well, it's going to be so physical in the last quarter as well, Roo.
Absolutely. Subs are activated. It's game on. Who wants it most?
That man hasn't kicked a goal this week or last week. What's he got for us in the last term? Hawthorn lead by 5 points at Amy.
One of the legends of Adelaide football, Ben Rutten, walks onto the ground for his 200th game. No Tex Walker and Kurt Tippett, just a memory. How would they respond? Badly, as it turned out, in the first 20 minutes, as Hawthorn kicked 4 in a row. Hill was magnificent, no one going near him. He kicked 2 and had an assist, and the Hawks were in front by 22 points at the first break. They went out to a 28-point lead after a minute, and then suddenly Adelaide found a bit. They started to go. Kerridge with a beautiful snap, and then Porplesia kicks inside to Jenkins, and it was 2 points the difference at half-time into the third quarter. Burgoyne was magnificent, silky smooth, little handball over the top to Bruce, and then Gunston puts it through, and it looked like the Hawks had just balanced. But then, in the last minute of the quarter, Douglas on 50, beats one, steadies, looks up, wants to give it off, has a bounce, surveys the scene. Make a hero of yourself, son. And he does, and everyone, even the commentary box was up. It was magnificent stuff here at Amy Stadium, and it's a 5-point ball game at three-quarter time. The Hawks in front. For all that, they actually won the quarter by 3 points, 9-8-62. Adelaide 8-9-57. The big guns for the Hawks, and there's none bigger than Buddy Franklin for the second week in a row, not on the score sheet as yet. Just one behind for Buddy Franklin. Let's go down to David King.
This game's going to come down to clearances, Ed. There's no doubt about that. The Hawks have been dominant today. They've led that area by 9. But for me, it's centre bounce clearances. And at this stage, they're dominant at this stage, the Hawks. They've won 11. And the Crows have only won 8, but they've only scored 1 behind from their 8 centre clearances. And as you can see there, the scores from stoppages is a 2-goal advantage to the Hawks. For me, they need to show some power from this centre bounce situation. Dangerfield, Thompson, Sloan, they need to get the Crows over the line if they're any chance from the centre circle.
Which way would you call it from here, Kingy?
Oh, look, I think the Crows are a huge chance. They just need a big moment. They need something with some emotion attached to it. This crowd's giving them plenty of energy. They need something special from Dangerfield, and I know that's always the case, but if you can provide it early, they could come running home.
The one type of player that Hawthorn in the last 4 or 5 years has really struggled with, apart from the monster key forwards, which everyone does, is a clearance player with initial acceleration. That's why they wanted the likes of Cyril Rioli to play in there, to shut down that type of player. Dangerfield is a carbon copy of that type of player. He can win it at the stoppage, and he can accelerate away from the pack.
I've talked a lot about what the Crows need to do, but there's questions for Hawthorn, isn't there, as well, on this last term?
Yeah, Buddy needs to lift. He needs to. If he doesn't kick goals in this last quarter, they won't win.
All right, there's the call from Mark Rasciuto. We're underway in the final term. It'll be a scrap to the death. You get that feeling. Hard at it, coming through Kerridge, lunging away, got the handball out. Mitchell calm and cool with his handball, and it was to the advantage of Lewis, and Hill skipping away to half forward. The Hawks, Gunston trying to keep it in front of himself. Otten was good, McKay likewise. Kerridge from the
Oh,
side.
that's going to be a knee roll.
Yep.
Roll into the knees.
Gee, that's just going to get out of his game. You can't do it anymore, can you?
So Simpkin takes it and lets fly and gives Buddy a chance to fly as well, but he couldn't get over the top.
Oh, that's
50, yeah.
a little bit dangerous, Buddy.
Can I ask, that's in the marking effort, isn't it?
Damn, you know the tricks. You know the tricks.
He's in the
He
marking
just
effort.
put his full weight onto him there.
That's
Very
You
dangerous.
can fall onto it. It's not a 50, it's a free kick in the action.
I think he's saying it's a free kick first and then
No,
the
that's,
second action.
you're getting pedantic with that. That's in the action. That's a definite free kick in the mark. You can't add them together and get 50 metres.
Well, they just did, and they're into the 50 now. The Crows. Right. Vince, it's hurried. It's anyone's ball. Kerridge got it to ground. Thompson stationed deep and close to goal. Gibson's a little bit buried there, the footy under there.
Gone.
He's gone. Yep. Gone.
There's the bit of emotion that Kingy wanted. It actually came from Ray Chamberlain.
Well, this is an interesting part of the game here for Hawthorn, who have been one of the best sides in the comp for the last few years. They need to hold their nerve at the moment. Gibson was under pressure there. It's a tough rule when you're in that. He couldn't get it out, but that's just unfortunate. But what Buddy Franklin did down the other end, Durham, was definitely
illegal.
Definitely illegal.
Absolutely.
And a bit of frustration coming
They've
out.
come close, but they haven't been in front since the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, Adelaide, and now they are.
Well, the crowd's going nuts here. They've had a tough year, Adelaide, and they've lost their key forward in Tex Walker, and they needed something to spark them into form. And I think Tex Walker's injury's done it. And tonight, it's been a tough game from both sides.
He's flapping his wings there.
He was trying to bury
He's
a
trying to
bunny.
get it out. Have a look.
Dig a hole.
Between his legs.
He did drag it under, so that's the rules.
That's what he's been done for. There's no possible way that can come out, but he did drag it under.
So some frustration from Buddy Franklin at one end. Gibson dragged the ball in. A good decision from Ray Chamberlain. And now it is a ball game. It's the Crows at home by a point, needing to keep their season alive after everything going against them. Rory Sloane's been fantastic. The ball just went behind him. Going in hard to pick it up was Vince. Back to Sloane, back to Thompson, back to Vince. Ducking and weaving. The handball is there. Great pressure from the Hawks. But it's Sloane who goes again. Around the body he goes. Little push out there. No, says the umpire. The ball spills out to Kerridge. Here they go. Right, the substitute. Wobbles one forward. Front square, McKernan couldn't quite get it. Over the top was Douglas.
Good defence, Hawthorn.
On the right foot, just slammed it on the boot, got it out of the danger area. Riley was there, Hill under pressure. Does it well and took it to the boundary line, disguised it well enough. No, says the umpire. No, says the umpire. He says deliberate.
Conference here, will then. No, he's just paid it.
Gee, that was very, very, very stiff.
All right, we'll have a good look at that one as McKay goes in to Tamley. He can go in. Look out wide. I thought he was going to swing onto the right boot and go for home there, but he just held up his momentum.
Well, the kicks haven't been travelling all night, boys, so you'd be surprised if he can make it, but who knows?
It's a good kick.
The pressure in the last quarter, if he can rise to the occasion, he might be able to, but...
He's got better as the game's gone on, Kerridge. He's on the brink. Oh, they muffed it. Get an opportunity again, bit of a standoff. Vince taking no chances. They'll work their way around again. Rutten to Tamling. A hesitation, a little dart to the right, and a kick quite deep. Thompson, big fist from Hodge, not over yet. Hodge goes again, you have to pay it. Yep. Crows didn't realise it, but the mark paid to the Hawthorn captain.
How good's this bloke, Hodge?
Brings it into Lewis from centre half back. He was looking for a run from behind, and he got it from Birchall through the middle. He strides out, gets it into a very open forward line, but first back was the truck. And Rutten takes the mark in game 200. Feels like a final here at Amy Stadium. Crows, it's not just about going with the flow and the momentum, though. Got to have cool heads under pressure.
I'll tell you what, Rutten hasn't just strolled to the line here. He has played an absolute belter on his 200.
He has, hasn't he? He's been fantastic.
So's this bloke, Rory Sloane.
Big quarter so far from Sloane. He's had 5 touches already in 5 minutes.
Yench just keeping Hawthorn on their back heels at the moment.
They need to deny Hawthorn footy at the moment, even though it's so close still. They've just got to make Hawthorn feel like they're rushed when they get it. If they do this, Hawthorn will panic the ball forward like they did on that last kick.
Hawks did well, though. They went man on man. Little push underneath it. Yep, free kick. Umpire saw it. Mitchell just got into Sloane's back. And Sloane will take the free kick.
They've had over double the possessions in this last quarter. Adelaide 27 to 12, 3 inside 50s to 1. And they're winning the contested possessions 11 to 6. Marks are 12 to 2. So, as Dermy said, they're chipping the ball around and making Hawthorn accountable.
Sloane goes long as he can up to the 450. Oh, big mark from behind. Not there to Lynch, over the top. Lynch and Hale, I think he got it high. Did he know it? He did, yeah. Hale got the free kick.
Slow call.
Yeah, missed the first one, didn't he?
Yeah, just waited, but Hale did well. So the Hawks have got it at defensive 40. As you can see, it's one-on-one, and they are dog-tired, as they used to say in the old days, Derm. Mitchell around the body. It was a dangerous kick. Porpolo did well to spoil it. It's Riley. Just slams it onto the boot. It might come off McCurtain. No, it's Thompson. Don't pay the push, surely.
Yep.
He did. Oh, I'd like to see it on replay. But that's been the rule the last couple of weeks, as much as we don't like it. And that's frustration. And that is a bad 50 to give up.
You know what?
Let's watch.
The hand comes out.
That was on the arm, though,
It's
wasn't
the
it?
slightest.
Please.
You're allowed to have your hand
Please.
on the arm, mate. Yeah, on the arm.
Isaac Smith.
No hands
It's
in
a
the
big
contest.
kick. It's a roll. Hard one for Roughead. Did he give away the free? He didn't. And Shields claims the goal.
What is the rule there, Derm?
rule
Are
came
you
out.
allowed to have your hand on their arm, or
You
you're
can have
not
your hand, but
allowed
you
to?
can't push. That's a rule. It's a push.
You can't use a push in the contest in any context, way, shape or form.
Even on the arm.
That's not a
Execution
push.
came out during the week and said you can't push. You're not allowed to even bench press somebody else who's facing you front on and the ball's coming in sideways,
Well, I don't
which I
even know the
totally
rules.
disagree with.
I don't even know the
Watch
rules.
this one. Watch this. Is this a push?
That's a fall over.
Anyway,
Hawks back in front.
Well, they're going nuts here because that is the softest push of all time. Dude, come on, mate. If you're defending Buddy's face plant, mate, you can't.
I'm dead set against the rule. Dead set against that rule.
That is ridiculous.
Let it run. Let that run.
It's probably the free kick, and the umpires get put under pressure because of it, but we need to look at that during the week. Anyway, let's go, because we've got a ripping game here. It's Hawks by 5 points. Adelaide have got it.
McKernan.
Kerridge kicks to that man.
Now, if they go out the fat side, Big Sauce has got some space out the other side.
Oh, chipped it, don't finesse, as they say. In these big games, kick it long and strong. So Lynch turns it over, and Adelaide and Hawthorn have got it through Mitchell.
And they need their experienced players, Hawthorn, here, don't they? They need that leadership from Mitchell. Oh, Buddy's going everywhere.
Buddy's got
That's
Vince.
trouble. That's trouble here.
He'll-
That's that hanging hand again, Mark. He just swings in low into the contest and took him very high.
Buddy's going to get reported the way he's going. Have a look at this, Sturm.
He's trailing the ball there.
Oh, that's all right. He's not going to get reported for that.
That's a free
clumsy.
Pushing the line, though, isn't it?
He's getting frustrated because Tarley is doing the job on him, which
Could
is
have made it a lot worse.
very good.
Oh,
Hill, going to stand
good
up.
throw.
Lewis does. They've worked their way through the maze. Gibson goes right back into it. And then to Franklin. They've got out all by hand here, the Hawks.
Well
and
done,
it gets
Hawthorn.
better. It gets better with Simpkin. No one deep. Just kicks and says, go fetch. And they all chase hard. Otten. Oh, he was worried. Was it deliberate? No, it's just
Pushing it back.
pushing the back. Well,
Gee, I don't...
What comes first, the knockout deliberate or the pushing back?
Exactly.
oh, he's turned it straight over into easy street. He's hit the post. Simpkin in his first game for the Hawks.
He's actually giving them some run.
This game's crazy, isn't it?
Chaotic, isn't it?
I tell you,
I can't keep up.
Where to look?
That's deliberate.
Where have Adelaide been all year?
But that is the question. What it was deliberate first.
It
or
was
a little
deliberate
push?
before he got pushed.
But he got tripped before the ball went out of bounds. So the ball was still live. The ball was still live. If we're going to split hairs, we may as well split them completely.
Technically, you're correct.
No, but did the push or the trip come first there?
Jeez, it's hard to appreciate the umpires when we don't even know what's going on, isn't it?
This is one cracking game. That's a bit shallow, that free kick.
Adelaide free kick. Now, Derm, as I said, the old days, the commentators used to say they're dog-tired, but they also used to say the umpires put the whistle away, and that's what we want.
We're just waiting for hit the boundary still to come
That's
in.
it. We can't do that. It's a free kick these days. Johnny Beckwith wouldn't get a game as the ball goes over.
I reckon he's done a hamstring here. I reckon Guerra's done a hamstring.
Good call, Derm. And they've already subbed, so they're going to be one down in a really hard last quarter of football with still 12 minutes and 47 seconds. They've got to try and get the boy off.
Guerra's grabbed his knee, hasn't he?
He's hurt his knee. It's right in front of me, boys. He landed awkwardly and it locked and jarred in the ground. It's definitely locked that back of the left knee.
And what a player he's been, Brent Guerra.
Gilbert last night too.
Let's have a look. It's the left leg.
Oh, it's the same. Similar to what happened last week to Tex.
Didn't come back through the joint, but he definitely got a jar on it.
In the meantime, Paul Pleasure gets the ball forward for Adelaide. Out they come. Someone needs to be a hero. Running over the top of it with Jenkins. This bloke's a hero every week. It's Hodge. He gets it to Puopolo. Now it comes out to Hill. Hill's deft touch is a beauty. And Shields has got it. Gets it out. This man Sewell has been sensational. He goes long to the square. And up they go. They couldn't quite hold the mark. In they go again. Picked up and kicked and goal.
Well done.
Brewster's done it. The Hawks fans go Brewst, and he kicks the goal.
Well, Dermy, Hawthorn have steadied, haven't they, the last 5 minutes? They're all of a sudden looking the better side again the last couple of minutes.
But it's Hodge was the one who mopped up there, but he could have charged into McKernan to make sure the ball stopped, but it would have given away a free kick. He didn't panic. He went around the back of the spillage, but I still think when we get to the 25-minute mark, I reckon Adelaide are going to run this out with foot speed better than Hawthorn. This game is going to go to the wire.
Let's get to David King for an update on Brent Guerra.
It looks like they're checking the back of his left knee. I'm not sure whether there's any structural damage there or whether it's an attachment for the hamstring, but certainly some issues down here. I don't think we'll see Brent Guerra again.
Well, Adelaide have got issues now. Out of the middle comes Mitchell. He got pretty close to the man on the mark. The kick was great. He's done it once. He's done it twice. Bruce. And they lead by 18.
Well, Sean Burgoyne in the middle again there is just a big man, and he's very clever in tight, and he set that one up with a beautiful centre clearance. Here it is. Watch the tap. Smart, sharp.
Just kept his feet steady while he delivered the handball under real heat. Some blokes are very good at being a player when the ball's running in their goal direction. Luke Brewster's one of those guys.
And a great kick by Mitchell on the left foot too.
Well, no wonder the Hawks fans give the old Val Perovic woof, but in their version it's Brust every time he gets it, because he has been sensational. Luke Brust's last two kicks have been the 2 goals to make it 18 points. Next goal wins. It's got to be an Adelaide one for them to have any chance. In the back should have been no, says the umpire. Doesn't matter because Vince kicks it forward. Dangerfield was fantastic, and that's a great mark too from Jiraiya. So good news there for Guerra, who might have just
They're on.
jagged his knee there, and he looks like he's not too bad. Anyway, away they go now, the Hawks. Birchall. This is a real gut-running performance by the Hawks. Up to Buddy. He had to come good sooner or later, and he's got it. 75 out. He's gone for the square. Don't tell me. He's just missed.
He had, if you look at Gunston now, Gunston had the sideways movement on his opponent. Gunston's given him the death stare glaze over the corner of the shoulder. He had him done.
Can you have a go at him for that? That's Buddy, isn't it?
It is Buddy, but sometimes you've got to do the team thing.
I know that, but
Takes them out to 19 points. It's a big barrier now for the Crows to climb, and it's getting harder. Roughhead back to the square. Gunston! They're finishing all over them here, the Hawks.
You know what? It's going to go to 25 points after this. It's not going to finish at 25 points, boys. It's going to be closer than 25. I reckon this is a minimum of what Hawthorn need to get across the line. Adelaide, if they still stick to this emotionally, physically, will run this game out better.
Well, they look like it, but they're not doing it at the moment, are they?
Yeah, but it's centre-bounce clearances. The last two have gone Hawthorn's way.
That's 4 in a row for the Hawks, and their lead now is 25. It's a significant amount.
Remember we said before about the game, the tempo's gone up a notch, and we said who uses the ball better under pressure will win this game. Well, in this last quarter, Adelaide are going at 69%. Hawthorn are going at 85%. Under pressure, they're keeping the ball on the body.
How's that not a push compared to Thompson's?
Wasn't watching. No.
So Jack Gunston, they started to get in his face, the crowd, because they remembered finally that he actually used to play for Adelaide. And he's kicked 3 goals and he's been a beauty. His old man Ray's in the crowd tonight. He's come over from Victoria. He'd be absolutely delighted. Last roll of the dice for the Crows, though. Dangerfield, well, he couldn't get any more going because he just run himself into the ground. He's coming off the ground now because he's absolutely stuffed out there at the moment. It's the only way you can describe it. Good kick forward. Well, there's another way, but we'll go with that one. Smith chips it forward. They've got to get a goal here. Jenkins has kicked 2 goals, 3, and 1 that's died on the line. Watch this. Now, if we're going to be pedantic, if Thompson's was a little push, tell me that's not 10 times more than Thompson's.
That is a push.
You're allowed to push in the front.
Of course you are, but that is what they said. You cannot have that extra.
Roo, what you and I grew up with, yes, you are. You're not allowed anymore. That should have been a free kick. That should have been a free kick.
And Jenkins, rather, misses to the side.
I've got to say, too, Roo, you talked about the disposal efficiency in this final quarter. It's been 10 handballs that have been rendered ineffective or clangers because of Hawthorn's pressure. It's 10 Adelaide handballs that have really not hit the mark.
Well, Hawthorn have been magnificent in this last quarter. Sewell takes the grab, and they can generate some more run out of defence. Gibson put it out for Shields, and now they're almost at half forward. Franklin pushing hard up the ground. Rutten watching him carefully at the moment.
Burgoyne wants space out on the half-forward flank for the ball to drop into.
Gibson pushed onto the back foot.
That's going to be a contest.
It was tough for Kerridge. It was outnumbered. And the Hawks gather and marshal their forces across half-back. Lake, a bit quieter tonight. And right now, time is a big ally for the Hawks. And it's a massive obstacle for the Crows. They can get one, maybe it'll spark them. And here's an opportunity. Jens, will he go? He does.
McKernan's on.
He's there to take it.
They've got a goal here. They have to go.
He called on Thompson to come up at the ball. He really was not looking for that at all. Douglas versus Franklin. Thompson once, but not the second. A little high.
Got the free.
A little high. Kick's going to go in quickly from Thompson. It's all set up for Jenkins to fly. He goes to ground looking for a free. Hill popping up at the right time. And the Hawks away again. Lake again, unhurried. Kicks it to the wing. They're outnumbered, Hawthorn. Dangerfield didn't mark it, and unfortunately for Adelaide, he's angry about it. The ball got away from him, but it's good for Hawthorn. It's out of bounds.
Kingy, Tarley's been on the ball. He's coming back on now. Just wondered whether he's injured or not, but he looks like he's fine.
He's just played a game on the big fella, number 23, and he's starting to feel a little bit weary.
So the Crows, they must go from this. Forward it goes, inside 50. Little flick over the top was beautiful. Douglas has been fantastic, but Gibson has zoned off beautifully tonight.
Just played the angles in the second half.
Magnificent. Again, he just keeps his composure. Hill made him work at it. That's a throw, but we'll let it go. Fantastic play from Sewell to Mitchell. Now the Hawks. They've got this game wrapped up to them. If they get a goal here, it is all over.
They're one away from wrapping it up.
I tell you what, Hawthorn have done brilliantly in the last quarter. Their experienced defenders have read the play so much better than the Crows' inexperienced forwards. You talked about Gibson. Hodge has been fantastic as well. They've played in front and they've stopped a lot of the balls.
He'll try and kickstart them again. Dangerfield. It was a beautiful bit of play. Put it right out for Kerridge, and he takes the clean mark. And will kick it goal and just must put it through.
The difference there between right and wrong is that Birchall tried to take body, making out he was running to the spoil, and Kerridge did nothing but watch the ball in flight. You watch, Birchall runs past the contest thinking he's going to contact body.
Yeah, it's a better kick too, wasn't it, by Dangerfield?
Cool. So Kerridge, he knows that the game will be gone.
Kicks it all right, doesn't
pretty
it?
much, if he misses this. Comes in.
That'll come back.
It's going to come back. Enough, not quite. So it's 23, They just can't let it get out of this 50. They've got to find a way to get it into goal from this.
They got less than 10 minutes, or they got 6 minutes and a half plus time on, so probably 9 minutes, and they got to kick 3 goals, don't they?
6:30 to go. 6:30 to go. So Mitchell has it.
You look now.
Look at the kick.
It's a great kick, but it's all static, which says to me that Hawthorn are retaining the ball. You can't do this for 6.5 minutes. Once again, we've gone kick mark, kick mark, kick mark. There's not that much. Well, now we get a bit of run. The first time we get a bit of run. If it turns over, Adelaide will run it better.
All right, well, there's no sort of turning over until the bat now, Derm. Here it comes. Dangerfield again was the man who got in for pleasure. To Rutten. Here's the turnover. This bloke has been sensational. Roughhead, look at that. Ruffy has been absolutely magnificent tonight. And Brust can go back and kick his 3rd of the quarter. And Derm, that will wrap it up.
This will be the game.
Well done to Hawthorn, because they've been fantastic in this last quarter. The ball work has been fantastic. Defence has been great. And a few blokes have stood up in the second half and played terrific footy. So a great turnaround by Hawthorn.
A ripping game of football, and this could just about ice it for the Hawks. And Brust, with poise and balance, hits the post.
Oh, he's looking for his 3rd goal of the term too.
Hey, Kingy, I'm looking at the flags up on top. It looks like it's favouring Hawthorn's end, and is that why Gibson's playing 5 to 10 metres in front at the other end for the short dropping ball?
Well, Doom, you know I love my weather reports down here, but there's not a lot to report. There's a bit of a swirling breeze, but they've just played perfect zone-off football. You know, Lake, Gibson and Hodge in particular, they've just had a field day with the Crows' pure use and their zest to get the ball forward.
David Twiggly King.
Just from the throw in. Down to the last 5 minutes. And it's Hawthorn 13-11-89 leading Adelaide. 9-11-65 at Amy Stadium. Sloane. I know he'll keep battling and busting his gut till the very last second. He may have been a little clumsy there, though.
Yeah, that's just effort.
He's having a crack.
The guys who give away the most free kicks are the ones who keep hunting up the ball, and Rory Sloane is one of those types of players.
Simpkin's been okay for the Hawks since he's come on.
It's given him some run. Bit of zip through the... I didn't realise he was that quick.
He was good in the pre-season. I was surprised it's taken till now for him to get a game, actually. Birchall calls on his teammates to come and give him something. He went instead to Hale. Burgoyne was hunting. Now, this is right. And that was very nearly wrong, but they're away. Poor pleasure. It's going to be tough for Thompson. He can mark it. Does he just put the foot down? And see if he can kick it 65 metres. It's all about the bounce, and the bounce is true. They live.
Well, they need 3 goals in 4 minutes, so there's no room for error by Adelaide. They're going to take everything on here. Hawthorn will push numbers back behind the ball right now. You see the run from defence. Turnover was created. Pleasure hits Thompson a long way out, probably 75 metres out. Had no other option but to try and kick it straight and hope for the right bounce. He got that, and they still need another 3 more, though.
Got to have Dangerfield in the centre bounce here. They need a clearance. They need a goal within 60 seconds, preferably shorter. And it's got to be Dangerfield breaking away from the pack.
Hawthorn haven't put anyone behind the ball here. I find that interesting.
Still play the game. You've got 3 up your sleeve. Try and milk the clock down now.
37,324 screaming South Australians are pushing their Crows forward, but it's the Hawks who get it out of the centre. Ball spills out. Umpire calls play on. Lewis underneath it, ball up.
There'll be a 3rd man up here. I think one of the Adelaide players will probably try and jump over and hit it to space.
You've got to aim for...
It was the Hawks who went up in the end. Thompson did it beautifully to Sloane, and away goes the danger man. Dangerfield on the left foot. It's a beautiful kick. He got plenty on it, and Douglas did it beautifully. Over the top he goes. Over the top it goes again from Jenkins. Oh, it was a big 9-iron, Doom. It didn't have enough on it, and as a result, they might get it back. Jenkins, Thompson.
Oh.
Dangerfield, again, the big thumping kick to the goal square. One-on-one, up they go. Good play by Lake. Fall of the ball, umpire calls play on. Yench tackles beautifully. Gibson's over the top of it, ball it up. Oh, what a ball up this one is.
Is that Brian Lake?
Yep.
Saw in the square.
Yeah, and Isaac Smith told him to get up, but I don't know that he can.
Dangerfield's had 9 in this last quarter. He's still cracking. Sloane's had 7. Mitchell's had 8. Hodge has had 7.
3 minutes to go. Almost in the back. Yeah, he fell in the back of him, Big Jacobs. And the Hawks will get the free kick. And Guerra, great to see him back out there. And as always, under the pack and does it beautifully.
You and I talked about that rule before the game, Hutto. I just reckon that's one of the weakest rules. But it's fair to everyone. That's the way they umpire it.
Yep, Hale, and they release the Hawks. And this is Bruce. He can not just do it in front of goal. Quickly hacks it forward. Talia called on to dig deep. Got it to Tamlin. They can waste absolutely no time, the Crows. Just got a surge. Tamlin keeps running. Hacking kick forward. Some one-on-ones will be crucial. Lynch, little slick give. McKay, no margin for error for the Crows. Not in the back. It's a throw in. 40 around, 2:17 on the clock.
Yeah, getting skinny now, isn't it?
It is. Every kick, every handball, absolutely vital for the Crows. Jacobs gets it to Sloane. Was that high? It was.
Gee, those calls come late.
Yeah, they do.
Totally agree with that. It got him over the shoulder. But they're like a 2-second lag. It's almost as if the controlling umpire must wait to see if there's another call from the further umpire.
Well, time is the enemy, but he just has to kick it straight. And the goal umpire watches as it drifts across. And it's only a behind. And with that, the Crows' hopes fade and disappear.
Handy point. If they kick
three quick ones, Derm.
Yeah.
The Hawks have done it well tonight. There's been no doubt. They kicked 4 goals from the 7.5-minute mark to the 15-minute mark of this final term. But I tell you what, we'll be having a good look at the free kick against Thompson on Hale, which is the softest push I think I've ever seen in my life watching football.
I thought the one against Reed was.
Equal to that one.
Last week.
In a non-Collingwood game. Lake over the top of it. Great play. Hawks have been fantastic. This bloke Gibson, boy, has he played a ripping game tonight. And then 2 champions just went at the ball. Have a look at that. With a minute on the clock, 2 champions went flat out at it. The umpire says play on. The kick comes forward from Smith, and a beautiful mark has been taken by Kerridge as he stood up tonight. He's going to have to get back and quickly get his kick as the clock keeps ticking. It'll take a miracle from here, but
he's kicked 1 goal too, playing that sort of defensive forward role, so this hopefully will be his second. It'll be a big night for him.
Gets his goal, and they can fight it out and get an honourable loss here, the Crows. But that last passage of play was just fantastic to see Hodge going at it and Dangerfield coming the other way. Talk about the rock and the hard place coming together. Unbelievable. Watch this. 2 champions flat out at the ball.
Oh, he gave him 2.
He gave him 2, but he was going flat out.
Yeah,
Hodge was fantastic.
Great footy.
And well umpired too. Paid the advantage, and the goal comes into Kerridge.
Well, it's been a cracking game, hasn't it, boys, really? Full marks to Hawthorn. Well done to Adelaide having a crack.
It's going to be a hollow feeling, though, isn't it, for Brenton Sanderson?
Still a loss, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're starting to mount up.
But this, I mean, Hawthorn is a grand final team. This Adelaide side should not be outside the 8 the way they've played tonight, given their personnel with Walker's only missed this, well, 2 weeks now. They're better than where they're placed.
Yeah, well, this is the first time they've played a decent game of footy all year, Derm.
Well, Bruce has played quite a few decent games of footy. He's had a great last quarter. He'd like 1 more, the Hawks. The clock counts down into the last 10 seconds, and they really had to dig deep, the Hawks, in this last quarter and just show the Crows who was boss. But they've done it. Hawthorn prevail, and they are a mighty team. They win by 11 points, winning on the road, never easy. And when Adelaide had so much to play for, it was even more difficult. They were challenged, they were headed even at the start of the last, but in the end they have prevailed. The Hawks win 13-11-89 to the Crows 11-12-78.
Oh, magnificent game of football, absolute sensational game of footy. Well done to the Adelaide Crows, but Dermot, you can't take anything away from the Hawks, because when the game was there to be won, they had injuries, they had their own dramas, they had Buddy Franklin out of all sorts tonight for the second week in a row, not getting a goal, but they found a way to win, and their champions, Mitchell and Hodge, led from the back line and were just fantastic.
Well, they won with professionalism tonight. They were able to get over the line and clear the ball away from the stoppages when it was required. And David King has the captain alongside.
I do have the captain, and what a special effort it was. They really challenged you tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, we knew that was going to come. Adelaide over here, doesn't matter the injuries or what their form's been like around. They, you know, when you come over here, it's always going to be a tough game. And we got off to a good start. The boys were up. We knew it was going to be challenging. So it was always going to be a fight towards the end, so we finished it off well.
How do you think it's coming together? The back line looks totally new with Brian Lake down there. Gibbo on that second-ranked forward. It looks like it's all coming together really well for yourself. Also down there playing your role. It looks really functional at the moment.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of areas for improvement. We still leak goals at times, and that's something we've got to work on. But it's better to be finding that out now rather than later in the year. So, look, to let teams get run-ons like they've done the last couple of weeks, a bit disappointing, but we'll work on that.
What makes you the happiest about the game today? What instantly comes to your mind? I know it's still early days and your game's just finished, but what comes to your mind as the most pleasing facet?
I guess if you probably look the last 2 years, we've dropped the close ones. And so far this year, we've been able to get over the line, especially the last couple of weeks. So, look, it's when you can stand up in the tight situations, that's what's pleasing. We're able to do that tonight.
Well done, mate. Go and get involved with the boys.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Got you, Hodgie, great stuff. Well done, David King. And a win by 11 points to the Hawthorn Football Club. Let's have a look at the live ladder at the moment. Puts Hawthorn into third position. Pretty good percentage there too, Derm, 129.0. And, of course, Geelong and Sydney yet to play. So there's the top six. Essendon on top, undefeated. Port Adelaide, Hawthorn, Geelong, Sydney, Collingwood. All the big clubs are there. Let's watch as Ben Rutten, who just played an absolute ripping game in his 200th, leads the Adelaide Crows off the ground. Defeated tonight, Mark Rasciuto, but certainly not bowed in any sense of it. If ever there was a loss to build a season on, tonight was the loss for the Adelaide Crows. And good luck getting the truck off them.
Yeah, good luck. You need a crane to get him up. But, look, they've had 2 wins this year already, but that was their best game they've played. Even though they lost by 11 points, and Benny Rutten does deserve to be cheered off. He's been a great player for the footy club, but they've got something to work on now. That was the intent they need.
So Ben Rutten gets carried off the ground in his 200th game. Stick with us, because when we come back, we're going to have a look at the free kick that should see the Rules Committee convened at 9 o'clock at AFL House on Monday morning. It's a blight on the game, and we'll have a look at it right after this.